Well, that's the 23rd of June today, and summer is finally here. It's been so wet, miserable, dull, and just not really ideal. But we have some sun, and it's about time too. But it does mean that a lot of watering has to take place now, because there isn't rain forecast for the next couple of weeks. And so yeah, watering is essential, especially in the polytunnels where it doesn't rain naturally. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm now going to give you a tour around the whole entire garden, what I'm growing, what things have gone right, what things have gone wrong, and some tips in between. So let's do it. Right, so these are some of my tomato plants, as you probably figured. I think there's 3 different types here, but yeah, these are doing fantastic. Just the old string method, keep twisting them around, and they sort of support themselves on it. It's very warm in here, so we'll try and make it quick. I've got, here we have some melons. These are just small melons, the little yellowy orangey ones. Melon Charmant and Melon Sweetheart. Oh, that's warm. Parsnips. Again, I don't know how they're going to do in the polytunnel. They look good. Got a few carrots in here, not protected by carrot mesh or anything. And they look fine. I will go ahead and thin them out a little bit though. Here we used to have a big bed of lettuce, and this is a couple of lettuce plants that I'm going to seed to hopefully save some for next year. Whether it works or not, I don't know. And then I took out the lettuce plants, and my plan has worked. We've now got the peppers, and they've got a lot more room to grow now, which is well, ideal for them. And in this bed here we have a spider, but not only that, we've got another few cucumber plants. Now I think these ones are more like pickling cucumbers, which we only just found out, but thankfully we bought 3 different varieties, so we got some good cucumbers as well. And I just put some beetroot in here and a few pepper plants, and then we've got the odd rogue potato that's come up and that I'm leaving. So that's a bit of a mixture of all sorts. But let's get out of here because it's really warm. I'm sweating like a good one. Well, here's my really tall raspberries. That one is way taller than me. And no, I'm not very tall, but it is a tall plant. Well, in here used to be some garlic, and the garlic got flattened by the chickens. So I harvested it early and it didn't actually divide into its individual cloves. So I thought, well, instead I'll quickly pop in a few sweet corn plants. So we've got 9 sweet corn plants there, and to be honest, they are doing really well. It's nice sunny here for most of the day, so I think it's a good spot. I may even grow them there next year. Big bed of them. These shallots went in like February time, and they seem to be splitting now, but I think they've got a little way to go. It's usually middle of summer or towards the end of summer when you harvest shallots. And well, like I said a minute ago, watering is key at the moment, and if you've got buckets of potatoes, a really good bit of advice is, if you've got buckets like these ones, is just to get down and put your finger in one of these holes that are for drainage. Just find one that you can put your finger in and feel if that's moist in there, and if it is, obviously no need to water, but if it's not, if it's dry, then you want to go ahead and pop in some water. Well, on the old strawberry front this year, we've not had very good success actually. We've had a bit of a disaster, and you can see there's strawberries coming on here, but this is actually their second flush of strawberries, because their first flush, well, unfortunately, turns out that we have a mouse problem this year. So mice have come in and they've just took the strawberries off the plant, and obviously none of them got to ripen. So I don't really know what I can do much, there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, and you never guess what, oh my god, this raspberry plant right here has either dropped a raspberry in there and it started to grow, or the root has gone from here all the way to there and has come up in the strawberry bed. Look, there's a raspberry plant. What? Well, unfortunately, Mr. Raspberry Plant, you can't stay there, so I am going to have to go ahead and take him out. This may give us a little look to see what it's attached to. And it is attached to a root. So yeah, a root has come from there into this bed. Look, it goes all the way. What? Well, he's not allowed in there, is he? This is my mega potato bed. It's my main crop potato bed, and as you can see, they're growing about half my height, which is, yeah, they're growing really tall. Every time I see flowers coming out on these plants, I'm just picking them off. And the reason for that is because I don't want the plants to be putting energy into the flowers rather than into the actual potatoes that we want. So yeah, I just pluck them off, and then they'll focus their energy more onto the tubers. Well, I put a few carrots down in this bit just as a little experiment, because they're not netted, and the lady that used to live here said that you won't ever be able to grow carrots here. So I've decided that I'm going to just put some in to see if the carrot fly do get onto them. Now, I haven't caused any disturbance in that bed. I haven't harvested a carrot. I haven't pulled out any weeds. I haven't done anything like that. So it's just, hopefully the scent has been sort of locked in there for most of the growing period, which will prevent the carrot fly from smelling it and coming over to it. But that's just a theory. Another bed of strawberries. These ones were just rogue plants that we decided to put in to a new bed that we made. And even though the bed doesn't look too appealing, the plants seem to be doing okay. Some more buckets of potatoes, and again, just picking off those flowers. I'm doing it before the flowers even come out. Getting them off nice and early. Let them focus on the tubers. Well, in here, I'm just going to give you a quick look. It's very warm in this hotbed at the moment. And no, it's no longer hot. The manure is just basically composting now. And these are just some spare plants that if I, get a bit of room, I can go ahead and pop them in. And recently I've put in our winter brassicas. So there's some broccoli in there, purple sprouting, and some cabbage, which will go into the polytunnels during winter to have a bit of protection. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some winter brassicas this year. Well, some more carrots that I sowed. These ones haven't done too well because at the time we had a whole bunch of moles in the garden, and the moles were going underneath, burrowing, and caused a bit of disturbance to the seeds, which didn't get them to germinate very well. But we have got some carrots in here, and they will need some thinning. Don't think I've ever showed you this little bed on the garden tour. I might have done, but this is just a herb bed. I would name all the herbs, but we've got some chives, and some dill, and some basil, and whatever this is. I always get muddled up. Coriander, I've just been told. So yeah, that's a little herb bed. Apparently he says some parsley in there somewhere as well. Smells nice. Look at this. This is a blueberry. And this needs ericaceous potting mix. So if you decide to buy a blueberry plant, don't just stick it in the ground, because the chances are your soil probably isn't acidic enough for a blueberry plant. So you may have to dedicate a bed for it or dedicate a planter for it. Okay, and in here it gets a bit exciting because we've got some things that are ready to harvest, and isn't that an exciting thing? But we've got some so after I've remembered what they are, we've got some spring onions in here, and these are doing great. And I'm just going to quickly pull one out so you can take a quick look at what I'm doing. Now, I've sown these in clumps, so they're literally just potentially even 7 or 8 in a clump. And I'll just pick out the biggest one, and obviously there you go, you got a beautiful spring onion. You know, and if you go through all of the clumps here and you pick out 10 spring onions, that is plenty. So you just peel the couple of outer leaves off, you've got a nice clean, ready to go spring onion. And well, all gardens have disasters, and I'm not going to lie, one of my favourite things to eat throughout the year is beetroot. So this is a bit of a, well, it's a bit annoying, to be perfectly honest. And some of these plants, as you can see, I'm now pulling them out, have started to bolt. And, you know, it's quite annoying, to be perfectly honest. And I think the reason these plants are struggling so much is because they got heavily attacked again by mice. And yeah, because I was, well, I'll show you this plant here, for example. So here we've got one that's been attacked by mice, and obviously there is no root left on that. So hence why the plant is dying. And when I first come out here and I saw these plants were dying, I thought, well, it must be a lack of water, you know, the trees are shading it. But I think, you know, I found out the cause, and as a result, I have planted some more beetroot, which will go where the garlic is. But hopefully we get some baby beetroots out of here. But yeah, a bit of a disaster. Disaster had struck. The squirrels has been in here and has decided to nibble off the tops of my sweet corn. So you know what that means? I've got to replace them. Thankfully I had some spares, so I'm not going to put them in. And well, one more little disaster as well. As you can see, we've still got some sweet corn standing. However, they have been thinned, and not by me, but by a squirrel. I do believe it's a squirrel anyway. And if I just take this plant top here, for example, this has just been chewed off. The top's just been chewed off. The plant's been left, and obviously it's not going to grow like that anymore. And same for this one here, just the top's been taken off. Yeah, there's not a lot I can really do about the squirrels. You can net them, but I think squirrels are pretty good at getting in anywhere, so they will just get in. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But again, a good tip, always have more spare plants ready. You know, like you saw over there, I put in some spare ones over there, and so hopefully I'll get another crop. Oh my God! We have some Swedes! Jesus! Take a look at that! I mean, I don't think it's as big as the shop bought ones, but wow, it is a Swede, and it's hard. I'm just going to take that leaf off because I don't want it there. That's good. And here we have the lettuce trees. These lettuces have decided to bolt because of the sudden change in weather temperature. We were going from about 10 degrees to all of a sudden nearly 25 degrees probably today. It's absolutely boiling. And these lettuce have obviously realised that it started to get warmer, thought, right, I'm going to seed. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out soon. And when I pull them out, I'm going to do one now just to show you what I do. So when I pull a lettuce plant out, I don't just yank it up. I twist the plant, and a good twist. There we go, look. And you'll feel it sort of break off. And then you just pull the plant out. And as you can see, all the roots are not on this plant. And all the roots are left in the ground there. And that just feed the microbial life in the soil. So keep the roots in the ground as best as you can. Because like us, microbes need food. As you can see, we're just walking along here. Whole bunch of lettuce. These lettuce plants, they are quite young. They may need some water in this hot sun. They do struggle, but they should be fine. I'll water them later on. Here we have some little gem lettuce, and I think this is, I'm just going to be growing this for the hearts of lettuce. So, and well, here is one of my most favourite plants, and I'm going to grow more of them next year because I haven't grown enough. Here we've got some peas. Now these peas here on this side are like podding peas. You take the peas out, and here we have some sugar snap. These are my favourite. I've seen a big one. Oh, look at that. That is a beautiful pea. That could have been left a little bit longer, but just can't wait. Mmm. Absolutely mega. Nothing better than homegrown. Really isn't. Cabbage. Let's show you the cabbage. Here we have some broccoli. We eat a lot of that, so I planted, well, a little section here. We've got our Brussels sprouts, and hopefully at harvest time I can give you a good look at these. The reason why they're covered is because of the butterflies. They come along and they lay their eggs on brassicas, and their eggs will hatch, and then you'll get millions, quite literally if you've got enough plants, of little caterpillars that will decimate your whole entire lot of brassicas. There'll be nothing left for you. So that's the reason why this has got netting on it. Did I say Brussels sprouts? Because they're there. Purple cabbage. Wow. All I can say is that. It seems to be growing really well, but they have got a little way to go to heart up. And obviously I've shown you the Swedes. So, well, in this bed here, again, it's all covered. This is to stop carrot root fly, because they also get parsnips, and that's exactly what these are. A big bunch of parsnips. So much foliage there, it's unreal. But yeah, they're doing brilliant. I'm just gonna get rid of that. And well, it's been 100 days today since I planted these carrots, and these are carrot F1 Norwich, which means that they are ready to harvest. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull one out, and we'll see how it's done. Again, I don't want to lift up this for too long, but well, it is a carrot. I'll go ahead and pull one more. Another carrot. I did a thing. I've grown carrots. And like I said, the lady who used to live here said that I wouldn't ever be able to grow carrots here, but I have. And I'm very happy about it, actually. Oh. There is nothing better than a home-grown carrot, and the smell of that is just absolutely mega. And we actually, well, I pulled one of these out very earlier on when that was when they were quite young, and that tasted really nice. So I'm sure these will too. Golden beetroot, that's what these are. And rodent damage, well, only to one clump though, so I can't really complain, but they've made quite literally a hole exactly where the clump was, so that's a little bit annoying. But yeah, so I don't know how these will taste, whether we'll enjoy them or not, but we'll see. These are some very patchy leeks. I don't know why that area didn't do very well, but we've got some nice leeks here, and these will be ready probably the middle of winter, I reckon. You know, they're quite hardy, and yeah, they'll be fine. Again, a sort of desperate attempt to get some beetroot. I've gone ahead and put a little bit more in here as well, hoping that later on into the summer the rodents will have a little bit more to eat, hence they don't eat the crops that I've put in. And again, I had a few spare plants left over, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and put some young onions in here, because if I do that, then I may go ahead and pickle some onions for pickled onions. This is a runner bean growing up the trellis thing I made. They didn't all work out, but this one's managed to, and hopefully we'll get some nice flowers on here for the bees, and also get some nice runner beans as well. Well, it's a very exciting time for onions, because they are starting to bulb up now there's a bit of heat. They're only tiny still, but I am seeing a bit of swelling on the bulbs now, which is exciting. And if you haven't done this already and you've multi-sown your onions, well, obviously don't forget to go ahead and thin them out a little bit, because onions don't like, you know, you don't want to have too many onions all together, because then they won't grow very big. I usually like to have 3 or 4 in the clump, and then you'll get some sort of medium size onions. And they're all white onions. Well, here we have some garlic, and this garlic, I keep digging around to feel to see if it's separated yet, and at the moment it hasn't. It's actually taken its time, and so I'm just leaving it until it's ready, pretty much. You know, I'm not forcing it or anything, I'm just letting it do its own thing. And here we have our patchy red onions. Now these ones, like I said, are a bit patchy. They didn't do very well, but I'm hoping we will get some onions out of it. But yeah, here's some peas. These peas I'm actually growing not to eat. These are for saving of seed, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, I think we've got tomatoes and cucumbers. Well, we've certainly got cucumbers, we ain't got tomatoes yet. Watch your head. There's buzzing things in here. Need to get in here and take off all these suckers. Got ya. Right. Well, I'll show you that one last, because that's exciting. We've got some, like I said, tomatoes and cucumbers in here. This is a couple of rows of tomatoes, and these guys have really shot up since you've last seen them in the last garden tour. And I mean, well, as you can see, they are doing brilliantly. Just constantly coming in here and spinning these around the string or rope. And I do need to get on with that and do that soon. And just keep taking out the suckers, like I said. And it'll only be a matter of time before you get some tomatoes. Cucumbers. This is a full row of cucumbers, as you can see, and I mean, we've got a decent sized one here, but that is nothing compared to this. Take a look at this. Cucumber! Oh yes, there's nothing better than a good homegrown cucumber. They are so crunchy and juicy and delicious. It is unreal. And if you haven't tried homegrown cucumbers, I would advise either try and get your hands on one or grow one yourself, because there's nothing better. At the moment, unfortunately this year, it is too late to go ahead and sow seeds for cucumbers. However, if you know someone who's growing cucumber plants, well, they might be happy to give you one, or you can go ahead and get one, hopefully from a garden shop, garden centre, and they might be able to give you one. Buy one. Well, we've got some fat cucumbers here. Very spiky. Wouldn't like to eat it as it is. But yeah, these were we bought 3 different varieties of cucumbers, and these were just one of them. And I don't think we'll be getting these again, but hopefully we can go ahead and use these for pickles. I think we're going to go ahead and pick these soon. In fact, I'm going to pick this one now, and then we can give it a try. Because I think that's a bit too far gone, if I'm being honest. When they go that sort of colour, you know that they're wanting to go to seed. But we might be able to eat it. Potatoes! Again, a decent sized bed of potatoes. These are main crop Desiree. These are the ones that I usually grow. Them ones over there that I showed you earlier were Sapo Mira. It's my first year growing them. This will be my 3rd year growing these. And I know they grow well. However, I don't know if they'll grow well here because it is under trees, but I guess we'll find out. In here we've just got some spare plants. This bed don't really get weeded, and it is just left to sort of do its own thing. And if we get anything out of it, it's just a bonus, because as you can see, these sort of intrude anyway. We've got blackberries here, and I've actually made some stand things for them, some like trellis things, and we'll go ahead and once we put the trellises up, we'll put these guys up against the trellis to keep them all neat and tidy and everything, because at the minute they're starting to sprawl. I've got another one here, and well, a very exciting time with these raspberries. They are doing absolutely brilliantly. This is the first year we put these in, so we put these in winter time. It was actually very late winter as well. Should have got them in a bit earlier, but they are doing brilliant. And if we look closely, we might be able to find some raspberries on them actually. Look at these. Well, I tell you what, for a first year of these being in the ground, they are more than welcome. And I'm actually going to go ahead and give one a little try now. Hopefully it ain't got maggots in it. I mean, it looks alright. I mean, if it did have maggots in it, maggots taste nice. So yeah, we've got a good amount of raspberry plants going on here, and the reason why I've grown so many is because in its 2nd or 3rd year, I think we've got a squirrel up there now, in its 2nd or 3rd year, these guys will be really prolific and growing a lot of raspberries, and hopefully by that time, if, let's just say, birds come along and want a snack, they can have them, and so can we, and obviously share them with nature. Well, that is the end of this very sunny June garden tour, and yeah, everything's growing well. There's obviously a few disasters, and I'm quite happy to share them because you might have the same thing happen to you. But yeah, we've got a couple of handfuls of vegetables that I can enjoy, and I'm sure they'll be packed with flavour. I mean, unlike the shop bought stuff, so hence why I grow my own. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.